What's up?
Yes.
All the way from the ATL.
Yes.
What's up, sister? How you doing on this evening?
I am amazing. I'm in here with the beautiful Miss Kiwi.
What's up? Y'all already know I'm definitely in the building.
And you already know that our other co-host, Fastlane, will be in the building
shortly.
Shortly. So we have an amazing topic, as if all of them aren't amazing. We always have amazing topics. But on tonight, all you blind melojellas, no. Our topic is, if only the blind can see. You sizing me up. Why? Why you sizing me up and can't see the real me? Meditate on that. Why do people pass judgment and not looking at the real person? Well, first of all, you got to look at the man in the mirror to make sure that you the real person sizing somebody else up. But, you know, hey, here at Why Not Say It, as our mission statement, we want to make sure that we are bridging the gap, because this happens not only with us seasoned people, but it happens with the youth as well. That's why a lot of bullying happens and people little kids talking about each other. But we want to make sure that we're bridging that gap between the youth and the seasoned, most definitely. Hey, Miss Kiwi, what you got going on tonight on this topic?
What's going on? We're going to talk about this because I got some situations. That happened to me. And, you know, we just speaking on this because my thing of it is it all relates back to, don't ever let somebody tell you what you can't do. You know, maybe because they not going to be a part of it. You know, right. Don't let them tell you what you can't do, because I'm a living witness. We here, ain't we, Miss Me?
That's right.
We got a podcast, and we've been strong for a year now, haven't we?
Yes, we have.
And we give all the glory to God, baby. Without God giving us these topics and this, making people aware of things, hey.
And we get some pretty good feedback. Yes, we really get a lot of good feedback.
So we just thank everybody. We want y'all to keep tuning in, call in, participate, give us some topics. We gonna talk, y'all. We gonna talk to us, we'll talk back. Most definitely. We gonna get on this topic, because it's a good topic. And when we say blind, we're not just necessarily speaking of blind people. Right. People walk around every day with blindfolders on. And when you're being judgmental of somebody you don't know, you're going into it blind, and you're blindsiding them because they don't know why you feel like you feel, and we don't even know each other. And that just goes back to this little situation that I had before I actually, before me and my family got this podcast. I was introduced to a guy that had a podcast, and he was doing very well. His podcast is blessed, and he speaks against a lot of different things, a lot of things that's going on in everyday life. He talks about that. Right. So, when he did what he did to me, it kind of threw me for a loop because, you go on your podcast and you preach against this, but then you turn around and you did this very same thing to me, and we were sharing ideas. He was kind of helping me along the way, and even got you involved in it, you know what I'm saying? And, he was helping me, so I thought, as, just somebody that's been in the game, hey, somebody else trying to get in and I'm going to help him out. Well, he had an agenda. And,
they all do.
And his agenda wasn't my agenda. So he had made me think that, his auntie was had a real, high-priced talk show. Her talk show was doing well and all of this, and she needed a assistant. Right. So I sent her my portfolio and my pictures and everything, Beautiful. She called me, gave me an interview over the phone. Listen, let me tell you how real this was, but let me show you how fake people are, and we did the interview and all of that, and they was pleased, so they said. So they thought I had hung the phone up. So then, the question came out of his mouth, oh, what she look like? Now, remind you, he's blind. So he say. But hey, that's his story. And so she described what I look like. Then he said, oh, do she got any tattoos? And she described I had a tattoo down my leg. Then he said, oh, well, what her ass look like? Do she got a fat ass? I said, what you say?
They still don't know you on the phone.
They still don't know I'm on the phone. But I had to catch myself because when I said, what you say, he said, huh? And I muted it. So then she say, well, from the way it look in her dress, she look like she got a nice shape. She look like she kind of tall. She got a tattoo down her leg. I don't know why she would have a tattoo down her leg. You know, that's kind of ghetto. She said she got a dress on with a tattoo. And then he say, well, do she got big titties? And she said, well, I can't really tell. What? In a way, it looked like she got big titties. And then he said, is she fuckable? That's when I became unmuted. I couldn't take no more. And when I went there. And I said, you sure you can't see? I said, because the thing about it is that what does any of that have to do with the podcast?
What does any of that have to do with you as a person?
Period. Like, you got a podcast that's doing very well that ABC just picked him up at that time. And you sitting here wanting to know, am I fuckable? Are you serious? Nigga, you can't see. How would you even see to get your dick in me if I was fuckable? So I'm saying all that to say that his agenda wasn't really helping me. He was trying to see if he can get me in the bed. But this is something you have on your podcast that you speak against all the time. That's why I say, even being blind people sometimes can be rude, because that was very rude. You feel what I'm saying?
And you know what? And just because it is that you may not have hindsight to that sense in reference to being able to see someone, you still have your other senses become very keen. Exactly. And you, at that point, that puts you at a really good advantage to learn how someone is before it is that you start to pass judgment. So, just because it is that you have this one particular sense that's not usable, you have other senses. And like you stated, he talks about this on his podcast all the time. So therefore, that should be something that you should not do. Now, I know we all are human.
And wait a minute. And he has a daughter. See, that's another where, my thing come in with men with daughters. You don't think your daughter is seeing what you do and the things you say and how you treat women? She might feel like that's how men supposed to treat women. So you have to be mindful of all these things. But, I said all that to say, because I ain't mad about it. I ain't bitter about it. So don't nobody get it twisted, because look at me now. You hear me?
Right.
Look exactly. At me now. And I did it without him.
Right.
I'm talking about didn't even have to call his name. And guess what? Hadn't talked to him in 2 years. Guess who out the blue calls my phone, baby? Google can sure get you there. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah, but I'm just saying all that to say, hey, blind, when we speak of blind, we're just speaking of the sense, period. Like the blind leading the blind. People can be misled off of, people's actions or people's words, or
the way someone else may describe
exactly,
that person. Just because that person describes you the way that they describe you, don't mean that that's the type of person that you are.
Exactly.
Because like she passed that judgment about your tattoo going down your leg. Mm-hmm. That tattoo doesn't dictate. As a matter of fact, she don't even know what the meaning of that tattoo may have been. So I feel that people should take the blinders off and get to know a person for who they really are. It takes communication to get to know someone. It takes that asking the right questions, not just looking at that outer, because that outer can be just as beautiful as all outdoors. Mm-hmm. But that inner, oh my God, mm-hmm. If that personality sucks, that person literally sucks. I don't care how beautiful you are. Mm-hmm. It could be someone that may feel, even in themselves, that they are not beautiful, but has the best spirit. And if they have the best spirit, then believe me, they are going to be the best person. So we as a people need to stop doing so much looking at people on the outer side. Hey, our other sister have come in. I just had to stop.
Yes,
Y'all gonna see me get up because I have to hug my baby. I have to hug her because I'm so glad that she was able to join us tonight. Yes, and especially with me being in the building.
Yes, most definitely.
It's not on the screen tonight. Not tonight. It is not on the screen. Yes.
Yes, we are definitely in the building. We are talking about if you were.
Yes.
Come on in,
for that
honey.
little
Get you a
interruption,
seat,
but
girl.
hey, that was two beautiful sisters just hugging and loving on each other.
Yes.
So tonight we are talking about, what's our topic? Let me go back to it. I got a little excited there. Okay. So our topic tonight is talking about basically if only the blind could see. You know, how are you sizing me up and you can't see the real me? Exactly. So people are so caught up on what you look like on the outside. They don't even take that opportunity to find out who you are. What you think about that?
Well, let me tell you.
Hey, if you listen, we gonna tell you, baby.
Let me tell you.
If you listen, gonna tell you.
I experience that all the time working in the position I'm in as a supervisor. People will look at me and I get this all the time. She mean. She mean.
You is.
Well, we got fast lane in the building. We got fast lane in the building. Check it out. Check it out.
On time. You know what I'm talking about?
Check it out. Check it out. Check it out. Yeah, baby, this is how we doing it tonight. This is how we doing it. Because we talking about, what we talking about, TT? What we talking about, Miss Mink over there?
We are talking about if only the blind can see. You sizing me up and you can't see the real me. Yes.
And I was just saying, I get.
I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna take it. Just
We want to hear you. We want to hear about what you think about
you know, the thing is, I'm judged all the time, especially with the position I work. I can go to another center and staff be like, she mean. Oh, she mean. I'm like, I'm not mean. I'm like, what the hell, for real?
But they don't know me.
But they don't know me.
They don't know you.
And then when I'm there, they like, oh, okay, she cool as fuck.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's get to know me first before you judge me talking about mean, because I'm not a mean person at all.
That's what we talking. Don't.
Pretty great.
I appreciate that.
You're pretty cool.
Yeah, you know.
Appreciate it.
That's that topic tonight. I'm gonna take it from you. Oh Lord, Fastlane, I know you join us. You getting all set up and everything. When you get ready to jump on in, I want to know what your, opinion.
What your opinion is about that? Because I was just really kind of sharing a little story about, how we came into the podcast. You even know about, I had a friend that was gonna try to get me into the podcast game, but his intentions was wrong.
Yes.
But I just said that to say, people got blinders on. They look at people with blinders and automatically judge them
all the time
instead of trying to get to know them or trying to see, like maybe something may be going on with that person that what I'm saying.
Never know.
I'll go back to we was talking about before we came how it was that like Ray Charles or Stevie Wonder, found that person that they ended up loving. Especially, Ray Charles, and she was saying just by touching their wrist.
Yeah, he knew.
Yeah, he knew if you was skinny, he knew if you was chunky, and if you was chunky, he wasn't messing with you. But that was his preference, though,
And
but he learned.
When you lose one sense, God always give you extra senses in other places. And he, besides that wrist, he had an extra sense to feel energy. Energy is everything. Yes. You could close your eyes and feel somebody walk in the room.
That's
right.
Yes.
So if you in tune with your surroundings, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
So he felt them energies. He started realizing good energy, bad energy. So it was a little more to that wrist, when he grabbed that wrist, and the energy that he felt when he grabbed that wrist, what was important to him. That gave him sight of that person, you know what I'm saying?
Yep. But that was something that we had kind of touched on too before it is that you came, Fastlane, in reference to, how just because you can't utilize that one sense, you got 5.
Yeah.
So minus that one, you got 4 other senses that can help you to be able to relate. So even with a person that can see, you can use all 5 of your senses.
Exactly.
And still can't see.
Still can't
And I was
see.
gonna
That's the
say that
truth.
too.
Still can't see.
It's people that we get caught up in because we see out of these 2 eyes that we think that's the only sight that we see. You feel me? That's what we seeing with our eyes, but it runs way deeper than that because it's another eye that you can see way past skin deep. You know what I mean?
So tell us a little bit about that.
Well, what I'm speaking on, I'm talking about the third eye. Like when you tap into yourself and you realize your senses and your awareness and the gifts God give us, He give us the ability to feel certain things. You know what I'm saying? It ain't always about what you see because what you see could fool you.
Yes,
you
it
see
can.
what I'm saying?
Yes,
so you got to learn how to feel things out too. You got to learn how to feel the people you around. You know what I mean?
That's so true. That is so true. You walk in the room, you just sit back. Because I walk in the room and I won't say anything. I just monitor the room and get a feel of people before I judge people. And that's so important. Just kind of sit back and learn. And like you said, them senses, it's not just these.
That's right.
Not just these.
But what happens when, people try to make you feel like, because you made a good point just then, like sometimes when you see things, your eyes can trick you. But do you all believe that, first off, do you believe in the power of prayer? And if you believe in the power of prayer, when you say your eyes can deceive you, if you're praying about something and God is showing you and you know that He's really showing you something, that's not still the trick of the eye anymore. That's God showing you, coming into that third eye. Am I correct about that, or am I wrong about that?
The thing is, when He's showing you, you got to be careful because, see, one thing, our mind could trick us. See, our heart and our mind is 2 different things.
Exactly.
So, our heart will make us think we seeing certain things, and our mind can tell you one thing, and God could be telling you another. That's why they always had that story of that angel on one side and that devil on the other side, because naturally all humans have good and evil within them. That's why when they say we was born in sin, we all was born with flaw. You know what I'm saying? Which meaning we gonna fail, we gonna make mistakes. You know what I'm saying? But see, man, we don't realize we cursed ourselves when we got to a point where we started judging other people. And most of the time our judgment start with what we see, not what we know. You feel me?
Right.
We go off our first instincts of our eyes when you don't even know what you're looking at. You feel me?
That's
so,
right.
you got to take time out to open a book. That's why they always said don't judge the book by its cover.
And you know what? And that's a good thing. I mean, what you just said, because you can think that person is the most beautiful. Oh my goodness, beautiful.
Do you hear me?
Oh my God. And then when they open their mouth and start talking to you, or just things that come out, or their behavior, you'll be all like, what the heck just happened here?
And I've always taught my son, especially my son, I said everything that looks good
ain't good.
ain't good.
It ain't good.
Ain't good.
And it tastes good. Ain't good. You feel me? But see, that's how He trained us to use our senses more instead of just going off the first sight of what we see, or just because that apple look good and delicious and sweet, and you bite into the apple and it's no taste at all.
Hey, Snow White was a prime example. Snow White was a prime example. She fell asleep. Them poor little 7 dwarfs didn't know what to do.
And then have you ever met a person where, like, you could be working with them or whatever, and they always looking mean and frowned up, and then and people keep a distance from them, and they probably look like loners, and then once you open up and say something to them, and then you realize they some of the most sweetest people in the world. Sometimes, you know what I mean, like, them angels come in disguises where we have to put on certain defenses, and you know what I mean, like, those people that always judge on the outside, they really be missing out on a lot of things, because we'll see something and walk clean away from it, and that might have been what was for us.
Right.
It's just our eyes was reading the wrong thing. You know what I'm saying?
We wasn't listening to what God was saying to us neither. So that's why I say, sometimes some of them, one sense may not be working working so well, but if you
tap into the other senses,
that's right. You got to tap into all 5, not just one, not just one. You have to become reliable and dependent on all of them because he's working through all of them. And just because it is that he may not be reaching you through one, hey, just think of the other 4 that he may be trying to reach you through and you not paying attention.
Exactly.
Right.
So, and while you so busy sizing that other person up, you probably need to go back in that mirror and look at that man. You feel what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Because what you sizing that person up is, you're actually showing your guilt of what it is that you may be encountering or you may be going through or doing or displaying on somebody else. Because a lot of times, you know, you come off one way, but then, hey, you act a whole different way. You feel what I'm saying?
And that go back to when you were saying as far as faith, the power of prayer. Like, it's a lot of people that pray, but they don't wholeheartedly believe, and it's a difference. See, the power of prayer don't really work if you don't wholeheartedly believe what you praying on. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
You gotta have faith in what you praying on. You see what I'm saying? And when I say faith, you can't have partial. Like when they were saying like that small little, you give the devil a little room to come in, he gonna destroy. Well, he also will come in that little doubt. Is that little room they talking about where he gonna come in and destroy all them prayers you put in and make you have a little doubt of what if it might not happen. Or God might come through for me. Or God, I hope you hear me. Or God, did you hear me yesterday when I prayed for this? And today I prayed for it, and a few more minutes I prayed. Like my nephew told me one day, he was like, Uncle, when you pray for things, you know what I mean, you got to pray one time and then leave it alone. And you know, that really stuck with me when he said that. And when he helped me understand what he meant by that, he was all like, because I realized that when you're constantly praying for the same thing, what you don't realize you're doing is saying, God, you didn't hear me the first time when I prayed for it the first time. You feel me? And I don't think you heard me. It's showing a sign of doubt. You feel me? Because I don't think you heard me. But if you know who you really praying to, you know he heard you. He knew what you was going to pray to. He knew what you was going to pray about before you even prayed. You know?
And so and what you just said as far as faith. Faith right there is believing in something that you cannot see.
Exactly.
So, that's so really true. Deep because it ties right in. Because if you have faith in God that he is doing something for you, or Allah that he is doing something for you, then why question it?
Exactly.
That's the same way with a person. When it is that you are getting to know a person, get to know that person before it is that you pass judgment on them. Whatever. I mean, it's really not
First off, you don't have room to pass judgment, because if you when you in the bathroom and you shitting, your shit stink like everybody else.
Well, bro said it too. You don't. We all got flaws.
Yeah,
we all got that.
You can't help nobody while you judging.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying? And that's like that's part of the curse. I keep saying it. See, a lot of times people be like, well, you're going too deep, or you going all. It's not about scripture, really. It's basic instructions before leaving this earth. So when you talk about the Bible, that's what he was telling you is do unto others as you want others. That's very important. So when you do unto others, that also means give that person a chance to show you who they is. Exactly. Don't you go judging me and telling me I'm this and I'm that. If you don't know who I am, open my book up and see who I am.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
And that's where a lot of us have fallen as humans, because even back in, the early part of the Bible, where the Israelites was questioning what it was that God was doing for them when he brought them out of bondage. He showed them so many times what it is that he can do, but yet and still they still question him. So they didn't try to get to know him for themselves, because if they did, then they would have believed and it would have went. But we still do the same thing now.
Because them was our ancestors.
Yes,
that's why we haven't got back to where we supposed to be. That's why he said the first shall be last. We was them. And we still are those. That's why we still the last right now, because we haven't realized who we are. Yeah. Once we realize who we are, we'll realize like that was us who did that and made that mistake, so we won't repeat it. See, when they took our history away, that also took the power of learning who we are and also learning our ancestors' mistakes so we don't constantly repeat it. But if you don't know where you came from, then you don't know where you going. And that's a major key of us not knowing how, when they say knowledge is power, also the knowledge of self, which means knowing who you came from, knowing what DNA is inside of you, knowing what your ancestors built and what your ancestors was capable of. Because if they was capable of building empires, you know, and taking over, conquering empires, that means that it's within us too, because the DNA don't never change. So their biggest goal was to erase the memory of your DNA. So that'll erase the power of knowing what you're capable of.
And that's the reason why it is that we are so judgmental. I mean, you know, and that's the reason why it's so much separation, you know, and there are so many different races, and you know, it's so separate with that. It's so much fighting, it's so much war, because people don't have faith in what it is that is unknown of another person. That's a part of, hey, if you take those blinders off and you literally try to get to know that other person, you will be able to see. So I found something that Stevie Wonder had said, and I really liked it, because you know, everybody feels that when you're blinded, it's a disability. Well, it is a disability because you are not allowing yourself to formulate off of the ability that you really have, and that's to get to know somebody. Right. Communication is key. And so he stated that there was 5 different things that really helped him through his, you know, being blind, that sense that he couldn't use. And one of them was, don't let anything stop you.
His mama used to say that.
The other one was, blow everyone away with every opportunity. So that means no matter what, whoever you encounter, hey, you show them the best you.
Exactly.
Leave them without question. Then the third one was, be the master of your own destiny.
Yes.
Then the fourth one was, use your voice to create a more inclusive world. The fifth one was, love yourself. We say that all the time. So then he said, it's funny, but I never thought of being blind as a disadvantage. And I never thought of being black as a disadvantage. I am what I am. I love me. And I don't mean that egotistically. I love that God has allowed me to take whatever it was that I had and to make something out of it. I was just blessed to have ideas. The genius in me is God. It's the God in me that came out.
See, that was
Yes,
beautiful.
yes,
You know what's deep about that? Like, he's showing us that through people he lead by example, where just because I took his sight didn't mean I didn't make him great.
That's right.
But see, what's so great about it is, how would you know that you see if it wasn't for blind people that can't see?
That's right.
You see what I'm saying?
That's right.
Without the blind, you wouldn't know the difference in sight and not seeing. How would you know what's not seeing if it wasn't people that couldn't see?
Right.
You see what I'm saying? It wouldn't seem so special having sight if you didn't know that you could lose your sight.
That's right.
You know
Absolutely.
So,
Yep. So losing your sight, and that's I always used to think, when, like, after I saw Stevie Wonder and I also saw Ray Charles, if I closed my eyes, because sometimes I'll do that when it is that I'm out walking the dog, I'll close my eyes just to see if I can make my way around. If I trust that God is leading me through my walk, that I can walk without bumping into something. Now, one time I did bump into the pole, but that was only because Bo had walked in front of me, so I ended up trying to go around.
Did you hurt your knee?
And it's so peaceful.
so tell me this. How many times y'all been on the highway and it fell asleep while you was driving?
Once.
I did before.
I
nodded
several
off.
times. I'm talking about that blink. I'm talking about that blink. And you ain't got to be on the highway.
And do you
that blink, and they woke up out that blink like, whoa.
Yeah.
I done did
But
it
do
1,000
you know how
times.
long you've been asleep when you blink? People
That's
don't
my
even
point.
know that.
That's my point. And at
When
that
you
very
blink
moment,
your
he heard
eye, you are asleep for hours. And it be just that fast.
Yeah, I wasn't feeling good one day. I was coming home from work. This was when we was here, and Mama came and picked me up, but I had fell asleep on the highway because I was sick, trying to go to, at the time they had Kmart's, trying to go to Kmart's out there on Lindbergh to get Tyree something for his birthday party that we was having, and I fell asleep. And do you know, I crossed over, because I was in the fast lane. I crossed all the way over and went down right out there by the airport.
Oh, Jesus.
And went down that hill because I came off the, and cars was blowing, but I ain't heard.
I know exactly what you was talking
about. And came off and landed on that road facing the opposite way of the traffic coming. Wow. And you tell me it wasn't nothing but God, because, I mean, literally, I woke up, turned the car around and pulled over, because naturally the car was damaged because I had came through the Vaddock and everything. But yes, hey, believe me, I was seeing then.
Won't he do it?
Right. Yes, he will do it. Yes, he will.
Baby.
Like,
most definitely.
That's why I say we just have to take these blinders off sometimes, Take them blinders off so you could be able to see where you're going.
That's right.
See what you're doing, how you're doing it, and who you're doing it with.
That's right.
Because, baby, them blinders will have you messed up.
They really will.
They will. They will. And, I mean, you just have to do more trusting in what it is that you believe in, and then get to know that person.
Exactly.
Because that's what it is. You can't see the whole person up front, no way. You gotta get to know them.
Person.
You got to, but you gotta give yourself the opportunity to know them too.
Exactly.
You can't just pass judgment like that, and you don't know that person.
That go back to trusting yourself, and when you trust in yourself and trust in your creator, the higher power, that he got you. When you know he got you at all times, not sometimes. So when people cross your path, a lot of times we be on the defense, and that person might not mean no harm to you. But it goes back to that saying when they say, like if we wasn't so judgmental, now this ain't the saying, but I'm saying, like, if we wasn't so judgmental over people, how could we, or what they say, be careful when you entertaining strangers, because you never know when you entertaining an angel.
Yeah. Exactly.
So a lot of times we could be entertaining angels, but if we judging what we see on the outside looking in, we might not never get the message. You see what I'm saying?
That's right.
Because we read them. It might be somebody that's homeless, and we looking at them like, oh, he's a bum. But you don't even know God sent them to you. You know what I'm saying? And how would you know to appreciate living quarters if you don't see those people out here living on them curbs? You know what I'm saying?
And how do you know what their story is?
Exactly.
If it is that you don't even take time to, kind of talk to some
people.
Some people just need somebody to talk to.
Well, you all know I work in recreation, right?
Yes.
And we get all kinds.
Walks of life.
I'm not gonna ever forget this time I was at West End Rec Center, and I ain't gonna say no name because that person now is deceased. They're no longer with us. But he said to me, "You just let anybody in here." You know what? That hurt my heart, because I'm thinking, like, just like you said, we don't know what people are going through. And you judging these people.
Right.
I said, anybody that walks down this street and come up in this door, I'm going to welcome them.
That's right.
I would never turn people down. But that's that judgment. That you judging people and
you
don't know
look like me. Because you don't smell
exactly.
like me.
You don't smell like me.
You don't talk like me. Because you ain't got them jaws
exactly
or
what
them,
is.
whatever them is. You know. Yeah, and people got to stop that. Take them blinders off. Because you could be in the best dressed and all of that.
And be the ugliest,
but guess
nastiest
what?
person.
You ain't got nothing going on, but you dressing well.
That's
because
it.
You so ugly acting.
That's right.
To where nobody really even approach you or even welcome you or even want to be around you, and you wondering why you a loner. You not a loner all the time because you want to be a loner.
And you got people
you
that
a loner
say that
because you don't know how to interact or get along with other people.
And then you walking up in the room mean looking and
exactly
right. That's
now
right.
I was just told that somebody had just told me that a fella, he just told me that
you was mean.
He told me that.
He told you was mean.
Gather yourself.
One breath, two breaths.
He told me I was mean. And he told me that I didn't want him to engage with other people. And in so many words, what he was saying was I was insecure when he and I was around each other with other females, because when I let him know what he was doing to be disrespectful to me, then I became insecure. And I'm just saying all that to say, people see what they want to see. Mm-hmm. And just like bro said, your eyes can play tricks on you. Mm-hmm. But one thing about it is that when you're praying about something and you're sincere about your prayer and you know that God answered prayers, see, you can see what you prayed for, because he ain't going to sugarcoat it. He going to let you see it just how it is.
That's why they say, watch what you pray for.
Watch what you pray for.
Watch what you pray for.
Yes. Because, baby, when God give it to you, he going to give it to you
raw.
as is.
Yes.
He ain't sugarcoating it, and he ain't going to make it feel good to you. He giving it to you just how you prayed for. And if you pray, Lord, just let me see a glimpse of, he going to give you just a glimpse of it. See, when you pray about something, know what you praying for, and I did. And when he showed it to me, I was insecure. So a lot of times people walk around saying that, you know, they don't have blinders on, but you do.
Yeah.
Because
we all walk
anytime
around
you
with
cannot
blinders
be accountable
for your own actions
that you brought into play.
Yep.
You got blinders on. Because anytime you can see fault in everybody else and can tell them what you need to be, oh, you need to be doing this, you need to be doing that, you need to be doing that. That's because you're steering away from your truth.
Insecurity. Your insecurity. Yeah.
You're steering away from your truth, because those are those blinders you still have on.
Yeah.
And until you step into your truth, it's easy to say, Michelle or Miss Mink, yeah, you doing this wrong. You need to turn to this. You need to go read this. You need to pray about this. You need to get. It's easy to say
Judging.
because you don't want to face your truth.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah, we gotta start facing our own truth.
That's right. Yes, and
Take our
accountability.
own blinders off.
That's right. You
And
right.
make sure that we're accountable
Seeing
for
what
the
we
things
need to see
we
for
putting
ourselves.
out there.
Yes.
Because for every action, it's always gonna be a reaction.
Yep.
Now you might not like that reaction, but you should thought about what you put out there.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
And that goes the same for me. If I put it in the atmosphere, I gotta know something gonna come back to it.
Right.
You see what I'm
That's
saying?
right.
So,
And don't think that it's just, something wrong with you. Because it is that I'm expressing, how I may be feeling, or
That's the
what
thing.
it is that I'm seeing.
Yeah.
My opinion is my opinion. This is what I'm seeing. This is
that-
what I'm feeling.
Why come sometimes we can't accept the fact I have an opinion?
Right. That's
And this
right.
is just my opinion.
That's right.
in my opinion.
That's right.
And in my opinion, it's things that I live.
Yeah. I mean,
And I made it through. And the thing of it is that at the end of the day, if my opinion does not resonate, does not sit well, does not even affect you, then maybe we need to readjust ourselves.
Yeah.
And
But-
maybe this just might not be
Right.
for us.
Yeah.
You feel me?
But that's
So-
why I say the key to making sure that you don't have blinders on, that you are finding out that person.
Communication.
Yeah.
It's communication.
Yeah.
But I can understand, though, some people can't communicate because, first and foremost, they don't like to accept the truth.
Exactly.
That accountability part.
Exactly.
And a major part of communication is being able to listen.
Yes.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Being able to listen.
Yeah.
That's the most important part about communication that people don't even realize. They thinking it's the talking when it's really the listening.
Yep.
Because if you're not getting your point across, what good is the communication?
That's right. That's true.
know.
It's just going boom, boom, boom.
But see,
and
with
nothing is
listening,
being-
it comes down to a lot of people take stuff so personal. We
Right.
gotta take our personal feelings out of listening and just listen with an open mind.
Exactly.
You feel me? Because a lot of times when your personal feelings involved with you listening, you only hearing what you want to hear.
You already digested. You ain't paid attention to the most important part because you picked up on the
what
part
you want to hear.
Exactly. And you make it fit what it is that's fitting for you.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? You make it fit you, but I'm not talking about you. I'm expressing
about
how
me.
I feel.
It's like somebody might say, "Hey, you look nice in there." Especially if this is a significant other or something. You look beautiful in your white jacket today. And then all you heard is, "Oh, I look beautiful today."
Today.
You didn't realize I still complimented you. I was just talking about right now.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? But you only heard because I said today.
Today.
You know, and that was just an example. It wasn't really personal about relationships. It was just an example of how we heard.
That's what we're talking to anybody.
With our feelings
That's
and our
period.
emotions.
You
more
know,
than
that's
being
just
open.
period. It doesn't necessarily mean from a relationship standpoint. It could be just talking to anybody, how it is that you perceive what it is that person said and not what they're actually saying.
Right.
You just perceive
A lot of people listen at
the
people.
upper layer.
A lot of people listen at people.
And over talk them and don't listen.
So
And your opinion is the only thing that matters.
Yep,
All the time. Ooh.
It is. It's really. So I just, I really hope. I don't know. It may not happen in this lifetime. I know that all things are possible, but it takes us to be able to make those things possible because we stop and we listen to what God is. All we gotta do is read first and foremost because He done laid it all out. So all we have to do is lead. It's just us acting on it and following through.
that was Star Wars because she said the magic word. We gotta read, and a lot of us don't. So that's where the problem is coming in.
Exactly.
Star Wars again because a lot of us don't read. Oh, there's the thunder. Here we go. Here we go. With the clap. Hey, here we go, baby. I'm trying to tell. Hey, I'm telling you, listen. Hey, that's why every day that God bless me to see another day, I try to become a better person. You know, I have a lot of things that I try to change about myself, but I just feel like this, and this is my opinion, but I feel like this opinion don't need support because you can have wounds that has healed. But if you have someone to constantly poking and poking and poking, that wound can become irritated.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? So that becomes a part of taking accountability.
Right.
If it's been healed or if it don't need to be fixed, if it's not broken, why even bother it? Move to something else. Because you can focus on something else. You feel what I'm saying?
But when it comes when them wounds is healed, so sometimes though, even when somebody's poking at them, it also shows you that it ain't totally healed. If it triggers you or if it affects you like that, because once it's all the way completely healed, it ain't gonna bother you no more.
Well, then let me rephrase that. It may be healed on the outside.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. On the inside, it might not be all. So like it's times I done found myself, no matter how much the more conscious I become, the more I be tested. People want to test that. You think I'm only happy with what I have learned and what I came into, so I'm just sharing it because one thing for sure, it's a lot of information I heard that a lot of people ain't sharing. Right. So when you find somebody that's sharing it, whether you judging how they giving it to you, don't judge the messenger. Respect the message. You see what I'm saying? You do your research and it all adds up. Right. That's all that matters because I'm only using the message. So one thing I learned is by me being tested because of certain things that I speak on and stuff, you know what I mean? Sometimes I find myself going back to that hot head or that short temper. I'm not perfect. You know what I'm saying? Right. Just because I'm speaking on the Father don't mean that I'm trying to be the Father. Right. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. He's just utilizing me as an example. You know what I'm saying? Like, we came from the dirt, and he's showing that, this ain't no perfect person. Exactly. But I chose him. You see what I'm saying? So what he's showing is you don't have to be perfect to get chose. You know what I'm saying? But when people try you and you find yourself reacting in certain ways or you find your temper, that short fuse coming back, You know what I'm saying? And they might have been poking like you were saying. That also reminds me like, ooh, I still got some work to do.
Yeah,
exactly.
Because that's knowing thyself before anybody else.
Exactly.
I can't blame you for my reaction. I should have knew myself.
Exactly.
I know my limits. You don't know my limits. So while you steady poking, you're
Exactly.
going to end up getting something that you don't want to see.
And I'm glad he said that, because with him, you do that. And with him saying that just makes it confirmation, because you could keep poking the bear,
Right.
and that flesh does rise.
Yep. Yep.
You know, because a lot of times when you feel like you have totally healed, because that wound look like it has healed, you know, you don't feel like nobody taking you back there, but you will get tested.
Yeah.
And like you said, that's when you know if you
learn
feel your flesh rising, then you
You
might
know
not.
you still
You
still got work to do.
Yeah,
work to do.
yeah.
And a lot of that comes with talking it through. And you have to have somebody to listen to you in
exactly.
order to talk it through, so
Exactly.
that you can get over it.
Exactly.
You'll never get over it. Like you said, it'll heal on the outside, but it's deep within.
Yeah, because
so
if
it'll
somebody
continue.
poke it might,
You know, so unless it is that you actually are talking it through and releasing it. And my release, and this is just me, what I use a lot is with God. And I know that I'm a work in progress. But all I can say is keep working on me, God, because I'm going to keep talking to you about it until it is that, hey, you go ahead and get it out. Get it out of me. But we just have to.
But does that make it where you're not healed from it, or you haven't moved on from it? I mean, because my thing of it is even. But I mean.
You think you moved on?
Yes, that's my point.
You think you have,
because once you
and it's
really
a working
heal,
process. It's a working process.
Is. All of that is all true. But when you really heal from something, it don't hurt you no more.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
No
and that's what I always say.
Not at all.
It don't hurt no more.
Don't ever let me get to the point to where as to it doesn't hurt. Because when it is that it don't hurt, then that means that I done moved on, and I'm not gonna come back. I'm not gonna come back, because that means I'll be going back to it.
To the pain.
No, I'm not finna do that, because at this point I'm healed.
Yes.
So I am done with it.
And
when you get me to that point, you know that I'm done. And I'm not gonna treat you, bad or whatever the case may be, but I know how to move and, not allow myself to be taken back
I was
to
just
that
gonna say
point.
that. And on what you were saying, sis, what's deep is, like, even in the process of healing, and when you don't want it, you get tired of them pokes and all that reminder of where I've been, or, but you used to do this, or you that, all that judgmental, whatever the case may be. Like, you have to learn how to control your environments by sometimes separating yourself, or right now, I'm not all the way there, and you keep reminding me of where I'm trying to get from. So I don't need nobody to trigger that. That's just like somebody in a relationship and they keep you mad. You see what I'm saying? Like, and I'm trying to find peace with myself. But you around somebody that's keeping you mad.
Mad or hurt.
It's like,
whatever.
I can't get where I'm trying to go because you want to remind me of that mad person I might have displayed to you once before because I was in my lower self. Now I'm in my higher self. Don't keep reminding me of my lower self, but I ain't going to keep telling you that. In order for me to elevate, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to have to remove myself. Or it's going to come to a point where I'm going to block you out.
Yes, and that's what I was getting ready to say, too.
You wonder why I don't talk no more, why we can't communicate no more. Because what you say out your mouth pisses me off, so I don't want to talk to you.
That's right.
I ain't got to tell you.
Exactly. So then you become numb to it, and now you're in, what's wrong with you? You acting fun. It's not that. It's just that.
Well, I ain't going to say numb. I'm just going to say you are learning how to deal with it.
Yeah.
You learning how to deal with it where you know where it can take you. So therefore now you have come to that point where you are learning how to deal with it so it won't take you back there. Because when it takes you, if you keep going back, eventually you're going to stay in that point. You gotta learn how to move forward to get away from it. And that person may still be in your life, but when it is that you learn how to move forward and deal with it, eventually that person gonna work their way out of your life because they ain't gonna be able to, they ain't gonna be able to deal with how you dealing with it. Exactly. I'm not getting ready to let you keep taking me there.
Exactly.
I want peace. I want to be at peace. I want to remove myself away from all of this. At what point do you can keep going there?
Exactly.
Real talk.
Right, you can keep going there.
Right.
But I'm not.
Yeah,
exactly. And that's real.
Yeah, because they go back to judging that book. You know what I'm saying? Like they seeing
taking the blinders.
They don't understand that it's different chapters in that book.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Like you only saw the cover of the book, but the cover don't tell you everything what's inside of this book. And along that journey, them chapters, you steady writing your chapters, and in the process, you growing, you elevating, and even people like they say when they say a season, a reason, or a lifetime, you grow out of them seasons because as you elevate, certain things don't entertain you no more.
Exactly.
Certain conversations you don't have
exactly.
no more. You know what I'm saying? Certain arguments,
yeah.
certain reactions, you ain't gonna get out of me no more.
No.
Because for one, if I'm elevating, how can I keep stooping down?
That's
If
right.
I keep
Exactly.
stooping down, then that means I'm not elevating.
Yeah,
See
and
what
you
I'm saying?
eventually stay
So,
in that stupor.
You have to check yourself sometime, and you know what I
and
mean?
you gotta smile and laugh about it too. You know what I'm saying? When situations come like that, pray on it.
And keep it moving.
And keep it moving.
That's
And I'm going to
right.
smile and laugh all the way because I'm going to let you know I'm happy.
That's
You got to
right.
be happy, baby.
And that's what
That's
kills
right.
people a lot of times. Instead of reacting, you know, and letting a person, when they poking you, you give them their reaction, you stoop back to that person they was trying to bring out anyway.
That's right.
But when you don't give them no reaction, now they clueless. Now that means either you're going to take time out to see where I'm at or you're going to miss it. You see what I'm saying? Because you looking at me as one person when I'm on a whole different way.
Yes, that's right.
And that's why
Somewhere
it bothered
else.
me. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? Because you steady trying to remind me of where I was at.
Exactly.
But like they say, when you're driving, trying to go forward, you know what I'm saying? The
That's right.
windshield
Don't look
is
in that
so
rearview
big,
mirror.
and that rearview mirror is so
that
small.
small.
You see what I'm saying? So when people want to keep on putting you in that rearview mirror, they're going to end up getting left behind anyway because they don't see your growth. They want to keep poking. That's not helping me.
Exactly.
And a lot of people get enjoyment out of seeing you step out of character. A lot of people like to see you acting, a fool or whatever. Because first and foremost, they're going to use it against you.
Exactly.
And they're going to tell you something wrong with you or whatever the case may be. So when you start showing them something different, it throws them off. It throws them off. Oh, wait a minute now. She ain't acting like that or he ain't acting like that. What the heck? Okay,
All
so
the time.
I need to do a different approach or something, or maybe I need to just go
to check
ahead
and
step
see.
away.
Well, I did the
give 'em a
reverse.
minute.
Right.
Because I went into silent mode first. And I went into silent
So
mode.
once you go silent, don't go back.
Right.
You know one thing
Leave it
people
alone.
sleep on.
Come up with an
sisters,
action plan. to
and
move
it's one thing
forward.
I've been mastering more and more. The power of silence.
Silence. Woo! Yes.
Man, that's
And
more
that's
powerful
what made
than words.
the ugly
Wow.
come back because they wouldn't allow the silence to.
No, you
Because
wouldn't
they
allow
want
the
to
silence.
answer.
Right.
You let them
broke
break
the
your
silence by
silence.
speaking.
Yeah, but I just feel like some things you don't gotta keep
Yeah.
talking
And
about.
I was in the car the other day.
Exactly.
You know,
And-
you
and-
ain't gotta keep
No.
What's understood,
react.
no explanation.
There you go. Say
Right.
that again.
Well,
What's
maybe
understood.
Don't need no
No
Man,
explanation.
I gotta
Understood.
quote wait a minute. I gotta quote my favorite person. She might be calling if I speak up, but what she say, baby? She say you got to listen twice and speak once.
Right.
That's right. But hey, maybe they don't get it. That understanding really, because some people, everybody don't understand the same, and everybody don't get that understanding
They
right
don't.
And
away.
everybody's angry.
Yep.
Yeah.
Angry.
But everybody say I'm angry, bitter.
Not
and-
you.
Well,
No.
it's okay. What you say
Yeah.
about you?
baby.
That's what I'm
Say
saying.
it, sister.
What you say about you?
Baby.
Talk to me. What you say? You dig?
Hey, if y'all don't know, y'all should know, baby. Miss Kiwi love every freckle
But
on
let me
my
just say
face.
this, Miss Kiwi. Not to bust your bubble.
Okay.
But you can't love every freckle on your face if you keep allowing them freckles to turn into pimples and you keep pop.
I got a pimple on my face. Wait a minute, Jesus, the devil is a lie. Oh, wait a minute, baby. Hold on. Hold up. Wait a minute. Let me take these blacks out, because I didn't see that pimple, baby.
Oh, man.
I ain't see, baby.
said.
That's exactly. Ain't that
Mine,
no
you
bigger? Cause the ones that's in my circle keep me on them straight. They ain't just telling me what I want to hear. They tell me what I need to know, baby.
And we do
and
each
I
other
love
like
it,
that,
baby.
too.
I love it.
Yes.
You hear me?
Why you tell me I had no pimples? I'm gonna let you in a minute.
To be honest, you looking beautiful. It's your best look. You know what I mean? Right now.
Thank you, baby.
Like Beyonce say, flaws and all.
Best look. You know?
Baby, hold on, man.
That's just your big sister. You
Still cute. You still cute.
pacified. So she letting you know, hold on, I see
Road
something.
trip.
She used to get the fingers out the nose. You dig what I'm
Do I got a
saying?
book? Oh, do I got a book? See how they doing, man?
You better tell me.
Baby.
You better tell me.
No, but I mean, you know what? And that to me is like
I
when
don't-
it is that you do feel confident in yourself as well as your surrounding, the people that you surrounded. You
Your
feel
support
comfortable. Yes, you feel comfortable with calling out, certain things and letting them know, because first and foremost, I don't want none of y'all to be in a stupor. I don't want none of y'all to feel like you got to keep going back. I don't want myself to feel like that. And I mean, hey, I do the same thing. But when you talk about it and you release it and you share it, then you start to realize.
And you feel better about it.
Yes,
You do. Because, and not only that,
much better.
it makes you go back and look in the mirror, because now that you have heard other people's opinion and encouraging words, then you really could see yourself better in that mirror, because now you have to digest and come to, okay, what part did I play in that?
Right.
I got to take accountability
For
for my
yourself.
reaction, not the
Yeah,
action, but the
everything you do.
reaction.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I did that, and I'm proud of myself.
Yes,
I did that, because where I was wrong, I apologize for doing.
And it takes a big person to apologize.
And the thing of it is a lot of times we have to continue to even wish people well in everything they do.
That's
I
right.
have no ill will.
Yeah,
It was
because
good.
you don't have nothing to gain when you do.
I don't.
And then you walking around miserable. No.
Right,
No,
exactly.
you know.
And that's real, because like what we don't realize is we are accountable for our own actions. And when I say
Exactly.
that, no matter how somebody do you, you're accountable for your moves.
That's right.
You ain't accountable for they moves.
right.
Now, you're
Exactly.
affected by they moves.
Right.
But
I'll drink
you're
to
accountable.
that.
So your reaction. So I realize, even with the breakups and all that, I realize like I ain't gonna end with cussing you out and sending you all them bitch and all that. You
Right.
know why?
Right.
Because I feel like this. If I'm really who I say I am, which meaning if I rock with you, I'm all in with you.
Right.
So even if we fall out, I ain't gonna act like it wasn't no love, or I ain't gonna act like I ain't rock with you. I'm just gonna fall back. I might be hurt because I thought we was better than that, but I ain't gonna shit on you to leave you alone.
So,
because I
okay,
feel
so
like that
listen.
ain't genuine if you do
And
that.
I'm glad you
know
said.
what I'm saying?
I'm glad as a man he's saying that, because a lot of times, and I'm just putting this in the atmosphere, I'm just talking. A lot of times when people are in relationships, because I've been in a barbershop with all men, and they talk. A lot of times when people in relationships, I've heard men say, like, when they get mad with their woman, you know what I'm saying? It's whatever she do, in the streets or out the streets. I feel like if you in relationship and you really care for this person, it doesn't matter if we got into it. If we decided to
through
go in the streets together,
Don't
nobody
take
should
it out
even
in the
know
street.
that we
Right.
into it.
Don't take
And,
it out in the street.
and when
Yeah.
we get back home, if you feel like that's how we need to get down or whatever, then we do that. But we
at
should
least-
never entertain
That's right.
in the
Right.
streets.
It's a respect level.
Exactly.
No matter
Exactly what
what.
that
If
is.
you really say you respect me, besides love me, if you respect me, don't disrespect me because you mad at me. That's just as real as it get. Even if we can't come on one accord, that means we might need to fall back on that.
Exactly.
But
That's
don't
right.
shit on me if you respect me. And if
Exactly.
you don't respect me, you best to fall back on me, because then you're going to see somebody different. And I ain't going
Right.
to play that game.
Right.
I'm going to fall
It's gonna
back.
be ugly.
You
That's
see
all
what I'm
I'm
saying?
saying.
So
That's all I'm
And you
saying.
know what? And like I said, we all a work in progress, and we have to learn, because I just recently, I had to realize with myself, I said some very mean things to somebody. And when I realized it, I immediately start praying because that's just not me. It really isn't me. It literally, I allow, because it is of how it is that I may, you know, what I may be going through or the hurt and pain that I may be feeling, then it was my opportunity at that point to lash out because you're the one that's causing all this hurt and pain.
Right.
So now I'm getting ready to lash out. What better the way to do it than, you know, and I called this person a bitch ass nigga. That ain't me. You know, I don't even curse like that.
Girl, did you have a cooler?
3. She had 3 that day. She kept saying she ain't feeling.
Especially say bitch.
She ain't feeling. Oh, don't you ever. Oh, sister, how many years we fought for that bus? You come from where we come from. If a chick called me a bitch ass nigga and we was in front of y'all gonna be fighting over that.
Oh God! The men that told me, they just straight told me that you don't ever. You was mad.
We wasn't in the streets. We was in privacy.
Right.
But at the same time, it wasn't
privacy.
something that I was really out of character and I was out of line. But you know what? Ever since then, because it is that I done recognize that, I ain't got nothing to say because I already know how it is that I'm feeling, what it is that I'm going through, what I'm being taken through. So therefore, I'm gonna fall all the way back because you keep taking me to this area.
Well, like
that
y'all
I'm not
say,
trying to
poking.
be.
You keep poking me.
And I'm gonna say
You
this
keep
too,
poking me.
because when you start calling names in your relationship, that's a lack of respect.
Yeah.
I don't care
Or
if
losing respect.
or losing respect. But you know, it was a
moment.
moment because you had already been thinking about
But in that
this.
process, you got to think like,
No, I didn't
is it
really
worth
think
about I'm
is it
saying,
worth-
like-
is it worth that? Like, if you know he ain't a bitch ass nigga, and I ain't talking about you personally, I'm just talking about people. If you know he ain't a bitch ass nigga, or I feel like, bitch, you ain't shit, or bitch, I don't fuck with you, but I really love this person, even if we can't work it out.
Right.
I love you as a person, but we can't really work nothing out, but I fucked with you. I took time out with
Right.
you. You see what I'm saying? Is it worth me sending you off, turning you down, because words is the most deadly.
Yes,
Deadly
it
is, yes,
And you
it
can't
is.
take it back.
That's
And
one
I'm
thing
gonna
you
tell you,
can't take
it
people
back.
don't understand
So-
I
that.
don't care how
You
much you
have
try
to-
to apologize.
So,
it don't.
Yeah,
so one
can't take
thing,
it back.
me, myself, I guess that's just the counsel in me. Like, no matter how much I'm going to say what I mean, I also feel the pain of my own words. So I learn to quit doing that. Like,
Yes.
if I hurt somebody I care about, and later on when I get away from them, after we done apologized and all that, I'm going to feel bad about myself. Be like, damn, I know I shouldn't have said
said
that.
that.
I'm going to whoop myself. You feel me? So I've been learning to watch what I say.
Yeah.
So, bro,
then-
wait a minute, hold on. So, bro,
That's
I ain't
true.
gonna
That's
even
the reason
lie.
why it
Right.
is
so
that
how
I
would you
pull
feel,
back.
bro? How would you feel if a woman called you a bitch? And your gal.
Okay,
your
depending
gal.
on who she is, right? My girl.
Okay, your girl.
At that very moment, I'm going to feel like we have detached ourselves to a certain level where at this moment, I don't know what I done did. Maybe I done played with you a little too much, but you done got the wrong idea about me. But you was feeling some type of way, right? I'm going to make you stand on them words. I'm not going to harm her, but I'm going to fall back. I'm going to show you how much of a bitch-ass nigga I ain't. See, a bitch-ass nigga would have smacked the shit out you.
Yeah.
See what I'm
Right.
saying? On some real shit.
Yeah.
But see, this man, I know the power of my hand. I'm going to fall back, and I'm going to make you realize the difference between me and them. This bitch-ass nigga going to smack the shit out you. This real nigga going to fall back because the power of them words, I know you really didn't mean that because you know better.
Right.
But you going to learn the words that came out your mouth. Now,
So-
it's a change. Now you going to have to earn respect from me again.
Yeah.
So let me ask you
If
this.
I fuck with you like that.
So
if not, I'm going to fall back. It's women that I was digging, and she thought it was okay to play like that. I fell back. And now you know why?
But
Because she don't know me.
Wait. So let me ask you this.
Because
so
that's how she
even
talk.
with
okay.
even with a word like bitch ass nigga, right? What about words like stupid?
That's the same to me.
Yeah.
Wait, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Because
come
you
on
belittling
now.
me.
Rub me
Yeah.
right then, baby. Rub me right. What about
Stupid, dumb.
Wait.
Dumbass
What
nigga.
about-
Slow.
You slow ass.
Yeah.
All of those words. Because see, where
Any
we come
kind of
from.
words that's demeanoring is actually, you know, because I've used those words. But
Me
like
too,
I
son.
said,
Me
you
too.
literally
Me too.
do feel it. If you're a person that
you
has
accountable and
right,
believe
you
in
feel
karma.
it. Oh my God,
You
you feel
feel
it.
it.
And
Later.
it feels bad. And I mean, you know, it really feels bad. But because of what it is that, you know, it's not something that I would just do out of, you know, just to be, because that's not the way I
You
talk.
simple as fuck. So
Right.
if somebody told you was simple as fuck, that love you.
Yeah, that's like, whoa.
Yeah.
Because you know why simple is almost like calling me slow.
Yeah.
And that means you putting me on a category. You see what I'm saying? You can't categorize me because the moment I think I'm right here, I find myself wanting to be somewhere else as far as mentally. So you can't put me in a small box. So don't call me you call me by my name, or you could call me like you could say you're done with me, or you can say whatever.
That's just
don't
it.
do that.
You know, when you think about the
That's
words
why I
that
say
you
you
say,
can
you be
see
thinking
growth.
that you really finna hurt somebody when
But
you
you
say
hurt
those words.
yourself.
But you really hurt yourself.
Yeah.
Because like I said, that's the reason why. And literally after I said them, I literally start asking God for forgiveness because that's
you're a
not
child
me.
of Him.
That's not me. And I allowed my human side and frustration to say something out of my mouth that I know I can't take back, and that it's not even worth it.
Exactly.
What's worth it is for me to start preparing myself to remove myself so that I won't continue to endure what it is that you taking me through that is bringing me to those points to where I'm doing it.
Well, I'm gonna violate you. And I was just gonna say that as a man, now, like on some real talk, not to cut you off.
Go ahead.
But like as a man, like one of the most powerful things is when you got a woman that's pushing you and believing in you, and you know what I'm saying, like embracing your manhood and pushing you to be the man that you is. That means she see inside of you deeper than you see yourself. You see what I'm saying? That's what build empires on some real shit. That's why we've been divided, because they don't want that energy to connect. You see what I'm saying? But he gonna do the same to her too. It ain't a one-way street.
That's what I was gonna say. But if it ain't working the same,
but see, that was that woman mind state, because I was only giving you an example for who can tell you about a man better than a man.
Right.
That's where we all get it twisted. A woman be so busy fighting for what she want to say that she ain't listening to the man telling you we need the same thing. Not you, sis. I'm just saying, like, as a man,
like you said,
because
it works both
we
ways.
listening to the women, but if we ain't listening to each other, we still won't get the same.
Right.
So when a woman turned that man down, you feel me? Now he could be doing all fuck shit. Now don't accept it if it's hurting you like that. You cancel that shit then. You feel me? Because sometimes we accept things for certain reasons and it don't add up to the pain we feel. So if it don't add up, then that's when we have to take time with self.
And that's what I was just finna say though. But that's what I was just finna say. I was that once upon a time, and I'm not that because I grew from that.
Right.
And it wasn't necessarily just, disrespecting him in his face, like calling him that.
It was your hurt and pain too.
It was just the point that I didn't even do that. I never called him out his name. Only thing I did say to him, and that could have even been disrespectful to a man, I called him a boy, because at that moment he was acting like
Listen to the two words you said. Baby, that couldn't be disrespectful to a man. I called him a boy. That's like so dumb. You're moving.
When you once was a boy, you thought as a boy, but when you became a man, you start thinking as a man.
Tell a man better though than a woman as far as you acting like a boy. Y'all raised boys to men.
What I'm saying is
real.
That's the only thing I said.
That is a low ball.
I never got to calling him.
But I'd rather you say that to me though than any of that. You know why? Because at the same time,
because I could have cut up, and I could have cut up. I'm just saying,
but don't cut up though. I'm saying this though. What you said, the words came out your mouth. A woman tell me you acting like a boy, or you acting little boy, or whatever that case may be. After she finished talking, and if I am a real man with myself, that's when I'm gonna reevaluate myself. Like I said earlier, if she calls me a bitch ass nigga, I'm gonna where along our journey made you thought you saw a bitch ass nigga. See, I ain't gonna lie. I don't want no man to holler hit me, so I ain't gonna call you no bitch ass nigga. No, I would never want you to. That's based on that though.
I got a mouth on me now. I can say something.
When you say boy to a man though, after the pain go away and he heard that mean, man, it's time to man up somewhere along my line, because she thinking I'm moving like a little boy and I ain't being the man that I am. You see what I'm saying?
That's when the blinders need to come off, because when you done been with a person for so long, you should know what it is that you have and what you got. So it shouldn't be blinders on because, along the way, y'all done communicated. Y'all know, where each one is going and head and all that stuff. And if that other person acts out of character, because you should know that character.
Yeah, that's my point.
You should know that character. And if that person acts out of character, then you know
something wrong.
Acting like a boy. Yes. What's going on?
But I ain't saying acting like a boy, but
I'm just saying, though, for somebody that know you and they saying you, like, that's like a man where you know how he move and all of a sudden he get to hang around some youngsters or he get to moving weird and you like you going backwards, like, you know what I mean, like I put you up here
exactly.
You all the way down here as far as how you been moving lately. That ain't your character.
Yeah.
Right.
But instead of somebody saying it like that, they were like you acting like a little boy instead of that man that I really respect you.
Yeah. And that's why
it's different. It's how we deliver. Our delivery is a lot.
What you acting like right now, and that's not, and that's not me. So that's all I'm saying is.
But you felt that way though.
Is that
you felt that way?
Because if you saying a bitch ass nigga to a nigga
you felt that
respect, or how you feel like. I mean, at that
and
moment,
I'm gonna say this.
They gotta know that they pushing buttons.
Yeah, real bad.
And you acting like a female right now with the feelings that you displaying. So therefore, that's where that bitch ass nigga comes from.
Yeah, I feel you, but certain words can cause a lot of.
It can, but a lot of the actions you bring to somebody's table.
Well, take somebody there, man. I'm
it's
telling
the
you.
reaction.
That's bad.
And that's why I say
Both ways.
you gotta know what you put out, because if you big enough to put it out, you got to know that it ain't gonna always come back in your favor.
Right. And I mean, you know what? I knew what reactions would come from that. I mean, there ain't no fighting or nothing like that. But I knew what reactions would come from that. But those were reactions that I probably was pushing towards.
And there was feelings that was embedded.
Because for the simple fact and reason being of what it is that I've been going through, so I'm at this point now. This is what you getting. But that's not my character. Yeah. So I think it's best that I step back, since it is that you don't know what the hell it is that you need to do. I step back, then I know that you're not getting ready to keep taking me out of my character, because that's not me.
Sometimes your reaction is still not going to wake them up.
No. It ain't.
So you just got to step back and just
that's my point.
Done.
What, like, do you really get something out of that? Like, it depends on the person. It depends on the person and the relationship.
Because that's what
because you take something with you too. Like, when we put it out, it also comes back with us, and that's what I learned. I ain't gonna keep doing myself like
that. Yeah.
Well, y'all. And y'all already know, boy, it be getting good to us. But I guess Mr. Miyagi was just gonna let us keep on rolling, baby. But we done got over a little bit past our time, but we all good though, cause when it's good to us, baby. This is why not said, and we thank everybody for tuning in. We thank you for even wanting to call in. Maybe one day you will, maybe you won't. But take the blinders off, and maybe you can see yourself to that 515-599-1687. Why not say it, baby? Till next Friday. Day to day, we always appreciate you, baby.
Love you.
I appreciate y'all. And Miss Mink is definitely in the building. In the STL and not the ATL.
Right.
Yeah. Until the next time, we signing off. Love everybody. Yeah. Just take yourself and grab yourself real tight. As tight as you can, baby, and make it feel good to yourself. Love yourself, baby. Hey, no pain, no gain, baby.
Gotta go through something.
Back together again. Loving is better than it's ever been. If it weren't for the trials we've been through, I'd never have the courage to come back to you.